Yes, you're seeing it. It's a level 90 Legionnaire. Yes, I do like this class. And unfortunately, there's this one person who told me that this is the worst class. On the screen. And I want to prove that person wrong. And what I'm gonna do for that? I'll use Swing, which will hopefully unlock the other skill which scales with defense. Give myself Purity and Focus Fire for big damage, and Weapon Expert for a free skill at the start. And I'm not gonna go high, I'm not gonna go hard, I'm just gonna go with a simple mode and see if I can actually pull the build off, and see how it scales, and see if I can win with that. Now, of course, I plan to use this guy to beat Curse 7, whenever I actually get to Curse 7, because so far it is looking dire. Very dire. I can tell you that. Okay, back into my little corner here, in a nice little wooded area. Very good, very remote. Lots of enemies, lots of experience. Now, of course, the main idea of this guy is have lots of defense, have shield, and have spear. So, which means lots of thrust skills. And since I have Purity, I don't want to take Fragility, but I need to take Fragility. Because, well, how else do I do damage? No Fragility means no damage. I might need to remove the Bleed. That may be the case here. And to be honest, there is a better skill for, yeah, Bleed and Fragility. Take that. So now I have two sources of big damage, of Frailty. Well, Frailty chance and Frailty from Subdue. The other skill that I want to get, maybe not this. Damn, yeah, defense. The other skill that I want to get is Titan's Cleave, which comes from the Swing Room. The special thing about it is that it also scales on your armor, which means, yeah, well, I have two skills scaling your armor, which is amazing. I get two skills, then I just take the armor and I become very defended, and very, very strong. Quick Strike. Also another important skill, which is very characteristic of Legionnaire. He has the shield, he has the spear, and he thrusts, so it makes sense to have it. I cast Frequency of Subdue, very important. Lots of debuffs, lots of defense reduction. Now, the thing going for the Quick Strike is the scaling based on movement speed. Now, what I may end up doing, since Quick Strike has a very low cooldown, I may remove the thrust at substage and just have the Quick Strike, Subdue, the shield bash, Scent of Blood. Now with this I probably want to keep this stuff. I don't know. Might as well just take it. I can get the card that grants me chance to apply bleed on a crit, and I will crit a lot, so possible. I can actually replace the thrust. So with Scent of Blood, the more enemies around me which are bleeding, the better. So currently at the base it has 200 cap on the extra cast frequency, which is 210 effectively. Firebolt, I don't want that. Chaos, don't want that. I don't want any of it. Storm of Spears is another ability, which is special for this guy. Frontal and Physical and Swing. Savage Strike. This has a very colossal base damage, but a downside. Damage is split between enemies. So the general idea of this thing is to max it out as high as possible, and then what's going to happen? You smack once and kill the enemies around the boss, and then smack the boss with it. That's basically the idea of this one ability. Frailty, I'm going to take that. As much Frailty as possible. Very important to have it. And I'm probably not going to take debuffs. Even though I think I probably should. Well, maybe not until I'm settled with my skills. Area of Frontal. Yes. Because one downside of this guy, his Shield Bash and other abilities, they are not exactly far-reaching. Which is why it is usually very difficult in the higher curse, like curse 5 that I tried. It's very hard to actually get up to something. You have too much red area, and you can't reach close enough to the enemies. You just die, basically. Cast Frequency of Subdue. I think Subdue is more important in terms of applying Fragility, the debuff. Bloodlust, yes, and I'm replacing Sour Strike, Bleed. I want my Bleed. Yeah, replace the Sour Strike. Now, before I get Duration of Bloodlust, yes please. Before I get my final ability that I want to actually be able to replace my thrust. And to do that, I need a single card that grants me bleed on crit. And also, I don't actually have a whole lot of crits, which is another thing that I don't like. Cast Frequency Subdue. Now, Cast Frequency is very popular here. I'll hit so quickly. And also, why am I not getting my Swing ability? I have Swing, and Titan's Cleave is Swing, or is it Slam? I don't know anymore. I hope that eventually I will get it. Damage of Thrust. I don't want Thrust. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use up all of my banishes on the skills that I don't want. Don't want this, don't want this, not this, not this, no. Okay, used up. Another dash. 4 of them, wow. Now, of course, another thing that's important about this guy, He starts with just 2 dashes, and he's generally very, very slow. Or at least he feels slow. So having some movement speed or multiple dashes on him, at least 1 extra dash to have 3, is kind of vital. Not any of this. Empowered, center blood and blood. Area. No. No area for me. Oh, multicast, yes please. Now, I can't even begin to describe how powerful Subdue is. Having it multicast is also very important. Look at the stacks of fragility. 50 stacks just from a few hits. And damage of empowering, basically. Buff the buffs. I don't want this. Area of Shield Bash, yes please. Now, obviously, I want to get my last swing ability. Faithful Strike, not that. Frailty. Frailty, very, very good. Okay. Oh, I have critical strikes have a chance to apply bleed. So now I can replace Thrust with Titan's Cleave whenever I get it. Is this slam or is it swing? It is swing, surely. Can damage of area. Set of blood. Oh, damage, yes. Damage for these guys means more potency. What's the cooldown on this? Good lord. Yeah, the buffs are going strong. And if I crank out both of these buffs to maximum, as in have them last 100% of the time, enemies are in for a very hasty surprise. Let's put it this way. Why am I not getting the cleave? I want the cleave. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. And Flurry. Applies bleed. Do I want bleed? No. Magnet, finally. More experience, more levels, more cards. And more cards means more chances to find Titan's Cleave. Which is the final... Well, it's not really the final. It is one of the more defining characteristic cards for this build. The final would be replacing Quick Strike with yet another ability. What's this? Yeah, multicast. And that ability is actually the shield. The blue shield, which is specific to this guy. What's good about it? So, it used to be the case where the shield would just reduce damage by a flat %. Now, what it does instead is add defense. And since both the Shield Bash and Titan's Cleave are scaling of defense, it'll mean that not only Shield will protect me, but it also scale both of these very powerful abilities very nice and high. And I think the Quick Strike can go at this stage. Okay, so it went from 2.2, just to check that in a moment, 2.2 scaling to, wait for it, to 9 times scaling. So essentially what it means, I now one-tap enemies whenever I'm under the shield wall buff. Yes, and mind you, this is just one skill that one-taps enemy. What if I had both the Shield Bash and the Titan's Cleave? Which means double the scaling from this one ability. So together with Subdue, and the passive Frailty, and the insane scaling from defense, and insane defense from this one ability, the damage cap of this guy is actually very high. Now of course, getting to that point is kind of difficult, as unfortunate as it is. As unfortunate as it is. Chaos Bomb, no. Duration of Blood Loss, yes. So now I just need to find this one single ability, and somehow crank the duration of my shield buff. Where's the boss? Right there. Is the fire one. Oh, break the fire boss. Oh, I hate him so much. How much fragility? 60, 70. Hi. Oh, that's a lot of fragility. A damage of Subdue. Does damage of Subdue improve fragility? It doesn't, so never gonna take it. I only really use it for, well, not the damage, the fragility. But then again, if every one of my abilities stacks bleed, and Subdue scales with bleed, you might as well just take bleed as well. Huh. Yeah, that is very interesting. That is indeed very interesting. Critical damage. So it seems for as long as I have cooldown on the shield, I don't actually do a whole lot of damage. Which is very unfortunate. Which is very, very unfortunate. Now whenever the shield is up, of course, the damage is kinda good. Still no swing. Very unfortunate. And block. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yet another level maybe? before the final boss. Because if I get the... As you can see. If I get the cleaved right now, or after the boss, I'll just go into the endless mode. I want to see it work. This is such a good build, but it takes so long to get online. This is the only issue that I have with this build. And of course, the other thing, it relies heavily on the RNG. Bleed applies poison. I don't poison, do I? I don't. And I don't want to poison. I want to take no damage and do damage, lots of it. Okay, there's the guy. Where's the guy? Oh, there he is. There you go. You're doing your spin to win. Can you stop doing your spin to win? Or you're gonna be dead. Boom. And cleave? No cleave. Potency bloodless. You know what? I'm actually going to go into this mode once. I want to see this build succeed. Go up into the corner and give me the one bleed build. Sorry, not the blade. The one ability that I need. I only need one. Area of thrust, yes. One single ability will make this build broken. Damage. Then again, I have a lot of frequency on me. Damage of area skills, yes. Since somehow all of my area skills, I just did the two buffs, casting yourself subdue. Also, if I apply a bunch of bleed effects, if I apply a bunch of bleed effects and have scent of blood trigger, yes, my build is complete. I have two of my powerful abilities, scale with defense, which is granted by shield wall, and the shield wall is drastically reducing his cooldown through bloodlust and scent of blood, and I apply bleed with every second crit, and I apply fragility with subdue, which also scales of bleed. Okay, the build is finally online. A crit chance. Yes, I think I want to crank the crit chance at this stage. Quick strike is not useful anymore. An armor. Multicast subdue. So now I crank crit chance until 100 and armor to infinity. And give myself any upgrades to the two important abilities. The build is finally online. I just need to apply fragility. Whilst yes, the abilities themselves do a lot of damage, enemies have a lot of health. So not having a bunch of fragility on them will mean I'll have to take time to kill them. Which is suboptimal. Oh, multicast cleaver, yes. I mean, they're not dying very quickly, that's for sure. They're taking their time. So I need cooldown. Critical. I need cooldown on my shield because most of my scaling for these two abilities for now comes from the shield. Which is for now not ideal. However, in the long run, which is a higher difficulty, yes, this is very obtainable. A flurry, you don't need that. Damage of clear. Cast frequency of this thing. Damage of empowering. I think damage of empowering, which will buff all of my buffs, which is 3 of them. And frequency, and that's it. And another level, yes please. More movement speed. I do not have the quick strike, so movement speed is not as useful, but moving faster is fun. Cast frequency of potency. I think potency. Like the funny thing about potency is that, yeah, it improves the cap of cast frequency of the blood scent of blood, which is already kinda ridiculous. This one ability can grant me so much attack speed, but it doesn't, because it needs on-hit effect, it needs bleeds on the enemies. But enemies die so quickly. Area physical skills, yes please. Bleed to poison, no thanks. Experience. To put it simply, I need enemies to not die instantly so that I can avail of scent of blood. But if I don't have enemies die instantly, how do I kill them? What's knocking enemies down? What is that? Why are they getting knocked down? What's doing that? I don't even know. It must be the Titan's Cleave or something. It must be it. It's a little concussion icon. Duration of bloodlust. Frailty. And movement speed. Oh, I'm so fast. I just love being fast. It's the best thing. Air damage of various skills. Oh, 40% damage, excuse me, of center blood blows and shield wall. Cast frequency shield wall. Basically, I want to crank the shield wall as much as possible. I want to be able to mow down the enemies and not take damage. Area of lasting skills. That's not good, that's just damage, raw damage. So with this cranked, how much of a modifier am I getting? 13 times modifier. Yes, cast frequency of subdue. Even faster. Even faster. Very, very important. Oh, wound ability. Do I want that? Okay, what's going to happen? I'll take this. I'll reduce the bonus from purity by 5%, but double all the bleeds and double all the frailty. It's going to be so good. Armor. Of course, also just plain and simple increasing the base armor also increased by scaling. So I am full defense right now. Oh, actually, how much defense do I have with the buff? And how much does it protect me for? Let's see, 700, 76%. Big damage. Oh, yes. Damage of empowering. Yes. This is gonna go very high. How much now? 877%? How much defense for 100% damage reduction? If that's even possible. Well, granted, with the way scalings work, it probably isn't possible, or the number is so outrageous that getting that without playing for 100 hours would be virtually possible. You know what? How about you just die? I don't like flame bosses. I really don't. Kill the flame boss. What's this? Area of area skills. Nah, quits. And magnets, yes. Oh, and actually, since I have the bloodlust, which grants me movement speed, I'm actually very well enticed to get the Leviathan cards, which, so be it, take away movement speed, but grant me more damage. I think that's a good trade-off at this stage. Since I move so very quickly, might as well reduce that. What? I'm outrunning everything anyway. Area of empowering. It is not very good. More health. I mean, I understand if I have the empowering and have a bunch of, for example, skeletons or golems who shouldn't take a lot of damage, provided I have the empowering and more damage. But without those, why would I improve the area of these two buffs? Doesn't make sense. Oh, cast frequency. Cast frequency of this. And general cast frequency. I think general cast frequency is so much better than this. Not just the subdue, because I still improve the subdue. I just also improve everything else. Multicast. I probably need to get away from this other guy and let one of them come to me. And maybe I just multicast both of them to death. I think I like the second part. Maybe just the eyes. So much explosions. I don't like that. Will you die already? Yeah, you can keep your explosions to yourself, mate. Oh, he's already dead. Oh well. Good riddance. Ow. That hurts. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, whenever I'm not shielded, I take a lot of damage. Duration of scent of blood. No. Multicast. And damage of frontal skills, which is more solar skills and more frailty. Very good. Very, very important. Am I gonna start getting more bosses soon? Ow. That was painful. More frailty. Very, very good. What else do I want? Oh, cast frequency of shield wall. I need to bring it into little to nothing. I want shield on top of me 100% of the time, because I'm not defended otherwise. Almost not defended otherwise. I'm not sure which one is more annoying. Ooh, this laser ability is just too strong. I think I want to kill the priestess, prophetess, whatever their name it is. Of course I want to kill both, but the priestess is more important. If it can hit me across the map, I probably wouldn't want it to, I don't want it to exist for too long. Because inevitably I will not see the laser. Because, well, I can barely see the screen at this stage. I have too many skills happening at the same time. How about frailty? And more frailty. Okay. And the magnet. I think I need to somehow improve the damage of the cleavers of both these scaling skills. Because it's not as good as I thought it was. Let's face it. Shield bash. Ugh. Is it 15 times? Just yet. And to improve the scaling and overall damage, I need to make sure this shield wall is up 100% of the time. How do I go about doing that? Reduces cooldown. That's the way. Good lord, so much damage. Basically, whenever the shield is active, I take no damage. And I do a lot of damage. Good lord, the fire from this guy is on another level. How about you just die? Die, please? Oh, laser is happening. I need to get away from that. I want to be nowhere near it. Whenever that happens. Laser, very bad. Good. You're dead. And another one dead. Well, I think it is a very powerful build. What do you think? Write something in the comments. And that's serious, I will reply to every single one of the comments. So basically, Shield Bash and Cleaver work in the same way. They do big damage and then they scale off the armor. Shield Wall grants you lots of armor but has very short duration and long cooldown. Both are fixed by Bloodlust and Scent of Blood. To top it off, I start always Purity and Focus Fire to grant me that initial damage. Weapon Expert to give me, well, a Shield Bash at the very start, which hits for a lot. And Swing to actually be able to unlock the Titan's Cleaver. Everything else goes into attack speed and fragility. And since I have only bleed and fragility being applied, I benefit almost completely from Purity. That's the build. Write something in the comments, what do you think of it? Cut.